Welcome to the return of the Misty Winston Show, the presented by Due Dissidents here on Rumble and Twitter. And also, you can subscribe on YouTube. The show will not stream on YouTube, but we will be posting clips there. So you can go over and subscribe on YouTube as well, so you can make sure you don't miss any of those. And make sure you share the stream with your friends and neighbors and pals, so that we can get the word out that we're back. Before we get started, there's just a couple quick things I wanted to go over. First of all, obviously, of course, thank you to Keaton and Russell for offering me this opportunity. As some of you probably already know, once Assange was freed, I kind of crashed. I took a very long break. I think I went a little too hard for a little too long. And I haven't really hosted anything or really done many appearances at all since then. So I've just been kind of languishing, not really doing much of anything. And they reached out and kind of kicked me into gear. So I appreciate them reaching out to me and encouraging me to come back. And also for offering me and trusting me with their platform. Okay, so Mike Waltz. This administration is so ridiculous. It is the height of embarrassing. I mean, it's such a clown show that I've kind of run out of words for it. But here, just to open it up so that we know who we're dealing with, this is Mike Waltz. $235,966 received from the pro-Israel lobby known as AIPAC. So that's who we're dealing with, okay? You may recognize him or his name from Signalgate, which is so fucking funny to me that it shouldn't be funny, but it is funny. So Signalgate essentially they had this little signal chat, which the idea that there are government officials discussing like serious foreign policy, national security issues in a fucking signal chat is insane. But not only were they hanging out in a signal chat discussing their war crimes, because there were war crimes being talked about in the signal chat. Literally, they talked about following a guy to his girlfriend's apartment building and then blowing it up. War crime. They're just like talking about it. And I think Marco Rubio was super pumped and cheering on, or maybe it was JD Vance, I think, was cheering it on, super pumped about it. Yeah, war crimes. And then it turns out that this turd, Mike Waltz, somehow he claims, I'm going to play you the video because it's so funny. He claims that journalist Jeffrey Goldberg, who was a shit stain, saying journalist is such a, it's offensive to journalism. He's not a journalist. He's a propagandist. Propagandist Jeffrey Goldberg. Mike Waltz he says he accidentally got sucked in to the signal chat. I'm not joking. Here, let's listen to him.
I can tell you for 100%, I don't know this guy. I know him by his horrible reputation, and he really is the bottom scum of journalists. And I know him in the sense that he hates the president, but I don't text him. He wasn't on my phone, and we're going to figure out how this happened.
So you don't know what staffer is responsible for this right now?
Well, look, a staffer wasn't responsible, and look, I take full responsibility. I built the group. My job is to make sure everything's coordinated.
But how did the number? I mean, I don't mean to be pedantic here, but how did the number?
Have you ever had somebody's contact that shows their name, and then you have somebody else's number there?
I never make those mistakes.
Right? You got somebody else's number on someone else's contact. So of course I didn't see this loser in the group. It looked like someone else. Now whether he did it deliberately or it happened in some other technical mean is something we're trying to figure out.
So your staffer did not put his contact information.
No,
but how did it end up in your phone?
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out.
Okay, but that's a pretty big problem.
That's what we've got the best technical minds, right?
That's disturbing.
And that's where, I mean, I'm sure everybody out there has had a contact where it was said one person and then a different phone number.
But you've never talked to him before, so how's the number on your phone? I mean, I'm not an expert in any of this, but it's just curious. How's the number on your phone?
Well, if you have somebody else's contact and then somehow it gets sucked in.
Oh, someone sent you that
It gets sucked in.
Was there someone else supposed to be on the chat that wasn't on the chat that you thought was on the chat?
So the person that I thought was on there was never on there. It was this
Who
guy.
was that? What person?
Well, I'm not. Look,
Okay.
Laura, I take responsibility. I built the group.
Oh my God. It got sucked in, you guys. Oh, that's not a thing that happens. If you don't have the person in your phone, you can't accidentally add somebody to a Signal chat. They don't just pop up out of nowhere. And also, by the way, I think it was Aaron Matei. It might have been when he was on Jimmy's show. He was talking about Mike Waltz there tried to claim that he doesn't know this guy. He knows this guy. He knows this guy. He's been in the same room with this guy. So he's just a lying liar who's lying. So that's who we're dealing with. That was Signalgate, which was, I don't know, maybe about a month ago. This is the new scandal. So this is Mike Waltz's phone, which was photographed during a cabinet meeting of him using not Signal, but TM Signal, which is Israeli run. Wild behavior. This is wild behavior. And what I find the most fascinating about this, let's get into this a little bit. So Waltz angered Trump over conversations with Israel. Let's get the first thing out of the way. Waltz didn't anger Trump about conversations with Israel. I think Trump got mad because he got caught. I think that's the big thing. And this makes Trump look bad. I think I don't think Trump is upset about him having Trump is Israeli operated, owned and operated. He is under the control of the Zionists. But here it says that Trump said to Mike Waltz, a Trump advisor said, referring to Bush's Secretary of State, you can't do that. You work for the president of your country, not a president of another country. It's arguable. But Waltz also upset Trump after an Oval Office visit in early February by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, when the National Security Advisor appeared to share the Israeli leader's conviction that the time was ripe to strike Iran, two of the people said. So they're saying that the argument here between Trump and Waltz is that Mike Waltz was working with Israeli intelligence and with Benjamin Netanyahu in order to push a stronger line of attack against Iran, and Trump doesn't like that. Okay. I'm not sure I believe that line of it. The view by some in the administration was that Waltz was trying to tip the scales in favor of military action and was operating hand in glove with the Israelis. Well, I mean, Trump appointed this guy. He's not shy about his positions, never has been. So Trump knew who he was appointing. Y'all, this is not new information. I knew who this turd was. I'm just some chick in Ohio. When he was coming up to be appointed, people were talking about this aspect of who he is. He is a Zionist scumbag. Everybody knew it. Everybody knows it. So yeah, the idea that Trump is somehow angry, that I just think he's upset that it makes him look bad and that he got caught.
Please clap.